What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And wow, do we have a jam-packed update from Major League Baseball. If you thought the dog days of August were going to be slow, think again. We're talking record-breaking home run nights, managers making history, suspensions grabbing headlines, and some of the league's brightest stars hitting personal milestones. Buckle up, because the Yankees just made MLB history with their power bats. The Mariners are dealing with a shocking suspension. The Royals have a superstar entering elite company, and plenty of injury updates are shaping playoff races. Let's break it all down. Let's start in Tampa, Florida, where the New York Yankees put on a home run clinic that will be remembered for years. On Tuesday night, Giancarlo Stanton, Cody Bellinger, and Aaron Judge went back-to-back in the very first inning, setting the tone for a game that ended with 9 total home runs for the Yankees. That tied the franchise record for most homers in a single game. What makes this even crazier is that this is the second time this season the Yankees have hit 9 in a game. No other team in Major League Baseball history has ever done that twice in the same year. Judge crushed his 40th home run of the season. Stanton and Bellinger each launched 2, and Jose Caballero, who just returned to the Yankees spring training ballpark, went deep twice himself for the first multi-homer game of his career. Add in Chisholm Jr. and Ben Rice, and it was a true slugfest. The Yankees didn't just win. They demolished the Rays 13-3 in what was technically a road game for New York. Though it was played at their own spring training stadium while Tropicana Field undergoes repairs. It was an electric performance that had even manager Aaron Boone shaking his head in disbelief. Judge crushed his 40th home run of the season. Stanton and Bellinger each launched 2, and Jose Caballero, who just returned to the Yankees spring training ballpark, went deep twice himself for the first multi-homer game of his career. Add in Chisholm Jr. and Ben Rice, and it was a true slugfest. The Yankees didn't just win. They demolished the Rays 13-3 in what was technically a road game for New York, though it was played at their own spring training stadium while Tropicana Field undergoes repairs. It was an electric performance that had even manager Aaron Boone shaking his head in disbelief. To put this into perspective, only 4 teams in MLB history have ever hit 9 or more homers in one game. The record is 10, set by the Toronto Blue Jays way back in 1987. The Yankees' achievement now joins that elite list. Stanton said after the game, "It was incredible across the board," while Boone called it remarkable. And for good reason. New York became the first franchise to have 3 players each hit multiple home runs in the same game since Mantle, Maris, and Skowron did it in 1961. That's some legendary company to be in. Meanwhile, on the other side, it was another tough outing for Rays starter Shane Baz. He gave up 5 home runs in just 3 innings and has been struggling badly over his last several starts. For the Yankees, Carlos Rodon picked up the win, giving up only 2 runs in 6 innings. But the story of the night was all about power. With the postseason race heating up, that kind of firepower could be exactly what the Yankees need to secure a playoff spot. They currently hold a razor-thin lead over both Seattle and Boston for the top wild-card spot. Speaking of Seattle, the Mariners had their own headline, and this one wasn't so positive. Outfielder Victor Robles was hit with a 10-game suspension after a bizarre and dangerous moment during his rehab assignment in AAA. Robles swung at a pitch that came inside, dropped his bat, then picked it back up and threw it toward the pitcher. He was immediately ejected, and Major League Baseball stepped in with swift discipline. Robles has apologized publicly, citing personal struggles, including the recent loss of his mother. But the league wasn't willing to overlook the incident. He's appealing the suspension, which will take effect once he's back on the Mariners' active roster. Next up, let's talk about Mookie Betts and the Dodgers. There's been a lot of chatter about Los Angeles's outfield defense after some costly mistakes, particularly from Teoscar Hernandez. Some fans wondered if Betts, who's been playing shortstop full-time this season, might move back to right field. Manager Dave Roberts, however, isn't budging. Betts has been excellent defensively at short, with just 6 errors in nearly 400 chances, and Roberts made it clear that the team is sticking with him there. The Dodgers have other options in the outfield, but with injuries piling up, it's not an easy puzzle to solve. Now to Kansas City, where Witt Jr. continues to prove why he's one of the brightest young stars in the game. Witt hit his 100th career home run on Tuesday night against the Rangers, becoming the youngest player in Royals history to reach that mark at just 25 years old. What's even more impressive is that he joins an extremely exclusive group of players with 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases in their first 4 seasons. That list includes Julio Rodriguez, Darryl Strawberry, and Bobby Bonds. Pretty elite company for a player who's quickly becoming the face of the Royals franchise. Witt's homer was an absolute no-doubter, traveling nearly 450 feet to center field. His manager, Matt Quatraro, called him a superstar and emphasized just how much pressure Witt handles every night as the centerpiece of Kansas City's lineup. The Royals have now won 5 straight games, inching closer to a wild-card spot, and Witt's consistency is fueling their surge. He's hitting just under .300 with 18 homers, 69 RBIs, and 32 stolen bases this season. Add in his Gold Glove defense, and you've got one of the most well-rounded players in baseball. Meanwhile, the Phillies found themselves benefiting from one of baseball's strangest and most frustrating rules: catcher's interference. For the 3rd time in less than a month, Philadelphia reached base thanks to an interference call. This time, JT Realmuto was awarded first base after a video review determined Seattle's catcher Mitch Garver's glove got in the way of his swing. While it didn't directly lead to runs this time, it's worth noting that Major League Baseball has seen a huge uptick in these calls. Last year set a record with 100. Breaking the record set just the year before. The Phillies have been involved in several of those calls, even walking off a game on catcher's interference last month, the first time that had happened since 1971. It's a quirky rule that frustrates pitchers and catchers, but can be a game-changer for hitters. In Tuesday's game, Philadelphia took advantage of that little boost and went on to beat Seattle 6-4, helping their playoff push. And with Kyle Schwarber leading the National League in homers, the Phillies' offense continues to be one of the most explosive in baseball. In Toronto, fans can breathe a sigh of relief. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. left Monday's game with hamstring tightness, but an MRI revealed no serious damage. Guerrero sat out Tuesday night as the Blue Jays beat the Pirates, but manager John Schneider said the team is being cautious and that Guerrero could return as early as Wednesday. With a massive 14-year contract extension signed earlier this year, Guerrero is a cornerstone of the franchise, and keeping him healthy is priority number 1. He's hitting just under .300 with 21 home runs this season, and Toronto currently holds the best record in the American League. Over in New York, Mets catcher Francisco Alvarez is dealing with a different type of challenge. He has a sprained ligament in his right thumb that will eventually require surgery. But instead of shutting him down, Alvarez wants to try to play through the pain and return later this season. Manager Carlos Mendoza said it's a pain tolerance issue and that it shouldn't affect his throwing, only his hitting. Alvarez has been on a tear since returning from the minors, batting over .320 batting, with 4 homers in his last 21 games. The Mets need his bat as they fight for a wild-card spot, so this storyline is definitely one to watch. And finally, a piece of history that goes beyond the field. On Tuesday, the Nationals' Miguel Cairo and the Mets' Carlos Mendoza became the first pair of Venezuelan managers to face each other in a Major League Baseball game. The two posed for photos before the game, and the ball from the first pitch is headed to the Hall of Fame. Both men expressed pride in representing their country and Latin Americans in general on such a big stage. It's a milestone that highlights baseball's global growth and the increasing opportunities for diverse leadership in the sport. So there you have it, a whirlwind of news from around Major League Baseball, from the Yankees smashing records, to suspensions, to injury scares, to international milestones. This week has been one of the most eventful of the season. With just weeks to go before the postseason, every home run, every call, and every managerial decision feels bigger than ever. If you love the game, there's never been a better time to follow along. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who impressed you the most this week? And which team do you think is peaking at just the right time? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the latest updates. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.